Hey YouTube, this is Adora. I'm a poet, and this is me pursuing poetry, my gift, and using it instead of losing it. I have it for some reason, some purpose, for some destiny, and I'm just on the road to seeing where it's gonna take me. Whether it be me being published or just being a freelancer or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just kind of going with the flow, as a free-spirited, poetic individual on this earth. So, yeah, that's pretty much me in a nutshell. Not very many people know me, but the few that have heard my poetry, they kind of got a glimpse of the real, unfiltered me. Someone once told me that it takes a special individual, person, to be able to put into words what others cannot. And that's pretty much what poetry is. It's the truth. It's raw. And in some cases, it's the only way that I can truly express how I'm feeling deep inside, deep within, it's my outlet, it's my way of escape, it's my comfort, my coping strategy, the more healthy one. And, it's gotten me through a lot of rough patches, and it's actually revealed to me some things about myself that I didn't even know. So, I know it was given to me for a reason, for a purpose. Like fire shut up in my bones. Like, when I get started, I can't stop. So that's what I hope to accomplish while pursuing poetry. It's my first step as far as getting myself in front of a camera and presenting myself to people that I've never seen or talked to a day in my life. Well, I did enter a poetry competition last year with this poem, and actually won with it. And I was just like, whoa. It was the first poem that I memorized that was my own and got up and recited it in front of people the very first time. So it's all these firsts in one time, and I was just like so nervous, shaking, and couldn't breathe properly. And I ended up winning, and I was just like, whoa, just this feeling just came over me that I've never felt before. And it's just accomplishment, but it was an inner accomplishment. It didn't matter that I had got a prize for it and people were clapping or snapping. Like, the fact that it was something that was completely out of my creative energy, and I produced that, I created that, I gave birth to that poem, memorized it so that I could truly call it my own, and presented it. But I presented it because the opportunity was presented to me. I didn't go after it. So this is me going after poetry. This is me being like, okay, I'm ready to take that next step. And I do plan on hitting up local poetry spots here in the city that I'm in, and continuing it. So I don't want to stop. I don't want to give up. I don't want to ever get complacent and comfortable at where I am. So this is another big one for me. Like I said, it is my first video, so the lighting's not gonna be perfect. The sound is gonna probably be off a little bit. There's gonna be a lot of errors. I am human. And with that being said, while I do admire and appreciate good critique, and just good and beneficial critiques, I don't think I'd be too fond of someone being like, running out, not like, oh, you suck, what are you doing? That's not going to be beneficial towards me. If you say, oh, you suck because of da-da-da-da, you need to work on da-da-da-da, then I can kind of roll and be like, okay, so you think I suck because of this. Not to say you suck, don't ever do poetry again, get off YouTube. That's not helping me. If you let me know, like, where I need to sharpen up and, polish, just help me out with that. I want to be able to help you too through poetry. And if I gotta work on something, let me know, you know. If you like it, let me know. Just be real, be honest, be truthful, but not in a way to hurt, but in a way to build and uplift. That's what we're here for, each other, you know. But that's my rant. 5 minutes and 23 seconds. Now I'm going to get into the poem, and those of you who are still watching, thank you so much. You will hopefully not be disappointed. This poem is called I Imagine. I imagine my first time like a roller coaster. And though I've waited so long, I want to back out at the last minute. I imagine butterflies fluttering in the pit of my stomach and wondering, what did I get myself into? I'm in over my head. I'd ask myself, self, are you ready? But the weight of adrenaline would kick in and the rush would take over. In the heat of the moment, I decided to ride the coaster of sex, reaching every climax, moaning and screeching at its peak. I imagine my first time like a tattoo. And though I want it, it's considered taboo. And though I still want it, I know it will hurt and last forever. Deeper than skin. I imagine my vagina being as tight as a rosebud, awaiting the day when the sun will shine upon my sacred altar and it will bloom and welcome in the gentle worship. I imagine petals and hot oils and lighting that isn't dark or dim but bright and inviting, maybe on a bed of silk or a bath of bubbles or the unexpected up against the walls of places. I imagine the sounds of love making, the various grunts, groans, moans, slappings and slurpings and heifer bangings and suckings and smackings and other things. I imagine the spine-tingling awakening of my chakras and the deep penetrating love of the toe curls, and I imagine losing my breath and not being able to make a sound, but my face will utter 1,001 words. I imagine giving myself to a man that captures my heart, mind, body, soul, and spirit, but not for selfish gain or the greed of scoring, but perhaps by mistake unknowingly causing me to fall in love with him without even taking a step. I imagine giving myself to a man that challenges me and broadens my horizons and blows my mind. I imagine him being open, honest, and kind, someone that I can grow old with, someone who wants kids. I imagine him as my soulmate, and we met for a reason. You can call it by chance or fate. I imagine love making like a poem or a story filled with intros, exits, and loads of climaxes, but after it's all done, I imagine being held by him and cuddling to the sound of our breaths, catching up to our hearts beating in that moment without words we speak telepathically as we combine and interlock. Our minds so grind, and instead of rewind, we press play.